It's Tuesday again, and I would like to hang with you lads, but I'm off to listen to the new episode of the Slaven Selection Show. Play now or stay in dark forever.
It would be a self-deprecating statement and untrue, so I can't really say that I publish this podcast once in a blue moon. It's true that I'm behind. That much is certain. But hey, I have another fantastic justification. No, my grandma didn't pass away again, and my cats didn't rip my strip to pieces that look like tagliatelle now. It was all work and some modest vacation time for me. It was something else as well, something that I was waiting for the longest time now, but it's certainly not related to this show. As they say, it's personal. Anyhow, I'm back, and it's not because the weather is turning to poop again. Because the summer is, no matter what you say, still here. The moon, which inspires astronomers and poets alike, shone bizarrely on Monday. While it was kind of hazy and cloudy in Toronto, I'm sure everyone else had a fantastic time watching the celestial show. I'm envious of whoever was at the beach because, as I've already mentioned, I was in the studio attempting to fit in 2 episodes at once because I'm still behind schedule. I suppose I'll get away with it if I produce 2 more episodes at once, one more time. Whether you're hopeless romantic or just fascinated with planetary kinetics, the moon, and particularly the super blue moon, will always be a heavenly object of affection for lovers and scientists alike. Once in a blue moon, I'm sure you're familiar with the phrase, describes extremely unusual occurrences. Its beginnings are a little complicated, encompassing both astronomical phenomena and historical use. A term resembling blue moon was first documented in 1528 in an anti-clerical tract written by William Roy and Jeremy Barlow. It contained the sentence, "If they say the moon is blue, it must be true." And this interpretation suggested that the claim was ridiculous and that naive people would take anything at face value. By the middle of the 19th century, the expression had come to denote anything extremely unlikely or nearly impossible. The expression "once in a blue moon" started to take shape, denoting an uncommon occurrence. James Hugh Pruitt misread the term "second full moon in a month" in a 1946 essay for Sky and Telescope, which led to the contemporary understanding of the term. Particularly after being mentioned in popular media, this perspective grew in acceptance and appeal. The phrase captures the concept of uniqueness, much as the term "when pigs fly." It has become a widely used expression in English, frequently used to characterize improbable events or occurrences. The phrase "blue moon" is also used informally, much like supermoon, but blue moons are more uncommon than supermoons, occurring only occasionally every few years. Astronomers claim that this blue supermoon is unique because it fits the most conventional description of a blue moon. And the prevailing theory regarding the moon's origin is the giant impact hypothesis, which posits that the moon formed as a result of a colossal collision between the early Earth and a Mars-sized body known as Theia around 4.5 billion years ago. This impact would have ejected a substantial amount of debris into orbit around the Earth, which eventually consolidate to form the moon. But this is not about how it started. So what is this? What is it anyway? Well, blue moon. This phrase describes a full moon that happens at the moon's closest point to Earth on its elliptical orbit. The moon can appear up to 14 times bigger and 30% brighter than it usually does during this phase. Usually there are 3 or 4 supermoons per year. An uncommon astronomical occurrence known as a blue supermoon blends the two occurrences of a supermoon and a blue moon. There are two definitions for a blue moon. The most common type is a monthly blue moon, which happens when there are two full moons in a single calendar month. The second description of a seasonal blue moon is that when there are 4 full moons in a single season, the third full moon is called the blue moon. The blue supermoon this week was a seasonal blue moon. It is the third full moon of the summer season, which has 4 full months. And there is no relationship between a blue moon and the color blue, nor will the moon have any tint of color. Rather, a blue moon denotes what is essentially an extra full moon, defying the general principle that there should be 1 full moon every month or 3 full moons per season. Supermoons, full moons, and blue moons don't always come at the same time. They usually happen separately. Only 3% of full moons are blue moons, while about 25% of full moons are supermoons, according to NASA. Supermoons have the potential to seem 30% brighter than regular moons. And this year, the blue supermoon peaked on August 19, and it was visible from August 18 until today, August 21st, 2024. Because it is predicted to be one of the biggest and brightest full moons of the year, this event is important. The next blue supermoon is not expected until January 2037, so sky watchers should take advantage of this unique opportunity. And also, it is important to note that the term blue moon does not really refer to the colors, I have said, of the moon. Rather, it describes how uncommon the moon is. Due to atmospheric conditions, observers might perceive a reddish or yellow color at sunset. However, this is unrelated to the blue moon moniker. The super blue moon rose over the eastern horizon in the Aquarius constellations just after sunset at around 7:10 p.m. EDT or 23:10 GMT. It then set just before sunrise on Thursday, August 31st at around 6:46 EDT, 10:46 GMT. So why does it look bigger, like generally? What additional factors besides being super could cause the moon to appear larger? Well, the moon illusion is a phenomena that makes the moon appear larger when it is close to the horizon. The moon appears larger due to an optical illusion when it is near the horizon than when it is high in the sky, despite the fact that its true size stays the same. Really. Furthermore, the brain determines size and distance using a variety of visual inputs. The terrain below makes the moon appear farther away while it is getting close to the horizon, giving the impression that it is larger. And this is comparable to the Ponzo illusion, in which the context of an object causes it to be seen in a different way. The moon's angular diameter is almost constant, regardless of where it is in the sky, according to measurements. The size of the moon, again, does not change much as it rises or sets, according to instruments. A little object held at arm's length, for instance, may cover the moon both when it is high above and when it is on the horizon, demonstrating that the moon size remains constant. Other factors are known as atmospheric effects. The moon's color can be affected by atmospheric circumstances. Spreading off shorter blue wavelengths often cause it to seem yellow or orange when near the horizon. But again, its appearance size is not greatly changed. And believe it or not, it was an astrologer, not astronomer, Richard Knoll, who popularized the term supermoon in 1979 when he described it as a full moon that occurs within 90% of its closest approach to Earth. Richard Knoll was born in Orlando, Florida on March 13, 1950. In addition to being an astrologer, he also works as an editor and publisher. He's well known for his contributions to StarTech, an astrological magazine. Although the term blue moon has been used for centuries in a variety of settings, the modern definitions were established throughout the 20th century. He described it as a new or full moon happening when the moon is at or near its perigee, which is the point in its orbit where it's closest to Earth. Since then, the meaning of the phrase supermoon has changed, and it is now frequently used to refer exclusively to a full moon at perigee, which can look larger and brighter than usual. 2 super blue moons in a row occurred on August 30th and 31st, 2023, and August 19, 2024, which was just 2 days ago, right, respectively, and as a result of the lunar cycle's special alignment with the year. Since it was the second full moon of the month, the super blue moon that occurred on August 30th and 31st, 2023, was a monthly blue moon. As the third of the summer's 4 full moons, the super blue moon on August 19, 2024, is categorized as a seasonal blue moon. It is quite uncommon to see both a blue moon and a supermoon, though under some circumstances it can occur more frequently. The typical interval between such events can be as long as 20 years. The following 2 super blue moons are scheduled for January and March of 2037. I really hope to be here to see, though. So the moon reached its peak fullness on Monday afternoon, but depending on the weather, you could glimpse the blue supermoon until Wednesday morning, which is today. The best time to see it is it's virtually whenever it's dark. You won't need any special equipment or location to see it, just a relatively clear sky. And you can combine it with other stargazing if you're able to get somewhere away from the bright lights of towns and cities. So is it really that rare? Well, it might appear that the events occur semi-regularly because there was only one blue supermoon in August of last year, but according to NASA, that this was likely the last opportunity to see a blue supermoon this decade. Since the terms aren't fully scientific, there is a disagreement over when the events occur. They are irregular cycles, and NASA predicts that the next blue supermoon, as I have said, will likely occur in 2037. And regardless of how closely you follow the definitions, this one was spectacular. Many traditions and folklore from different cultures have been influenced by the full moon, frequently fusing myth with the natural world. Among the most popular is the werewolf story, which is prevalent in both European and Native American cultures. This mythology states that individuals can transform into wolves during a full moon, symbolizing the struggle between nature's urges and civilization. The full moon, which represents the innate wildness and dualism of human nature, ignites this transformation. Well, one of the many traits of human nature is that we always place the blame elsewhere. It's not as though we require werewolves or wolves in general to comprehend the common misperception we have about the universe. And if this was the situation a century or more ago, I get it. However, some individuals still hold the belief that werewolves and freaks emerge when the full moon, super or not, is out. Some people also believe that it is not the only one, that there are many hidden celestial objects close to us. Whatever you believe, know this. We have only one moon, so you can't really be picky. The next super blue is in 2037, but until then, all you have to do is stay selective. Bye-bye.